So I just started up the engine. So see that the parking brake is on. So we can go ahead and start using the jacks or put the slide out. And also you'll notice that the gas tank is full. To use the radio, I always have a lot of glare when I'm filming, but I'll do my best. So you can set it to home. Tuner is for your radio. It is prepared for Sirius XM, but it will need to have a tuner and antenna installed at an audio installer. Bluetooth audio, so that's music from your phone. Phone for Bluetooth calling, and USB, so the music that'll come from that USB port. There's also, if you turn it to the side, the next page, sorry, it shows the rear camera. So you can press that to watch the camera while the vehicle's in drive position. Okay, and I'll just turn the blinker on so you see down the sides. We'll see the nice entry door right now because it's open. It is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible as well, so if you do have those apps on your phone, you can watch Google Maps on the screen. Swivel the passenger seat. You'll want to use this yellow boot. So you'll pull the handle outwards and then it slides on a 45-degree angle, and from that position it'll spin around. So I'll try to do this with one hand. If it doesn't have room to spin all the way around, you'll want to tilt the seat forward so that it doesn't hit the sidewall. So just do that in case here. So it's tilted forward. Now I'm going to pull this yellow boot. Okay, and it'll spin from here. There we go. We have the engine running and the parking brake on. The slides are in, and we're gonna put the leveling jacks down now. So press power. It says ready, jacks are up, and right now there's 2 red lights flashing. That's telling us the lowest side, the lowest point of the jacks. So generally you'll put it in auto level. So at this point you just press the auto level button and the jacks will go down on their own and work their way out to get a green light in the center. In this case, because we're in gravel, we prefer to use manual mode, and it's a good idea to know how they operate. So we're going to cycle through this menu here. So it auto retract all, hit enter to begin. It gives you some specs, so temperature, battery, side to side, front to rear, and manual level, enter to begin. So that's what we're trying to do. I'm going to press enter, and manual extend. So you always operate the jacks down in pairs, so I'm going to hold front until they touch. Typically the driver's side will go down first, and then the passenger side will hit. So I feel the driver's side, and now the passenger. So now I'm going to press rear. Okay, and now I'm going to hit the 2. And we have a green light. So we're going to go outside and just check the jacks. And there's the rear. For the jacks, you just want to make sure that if you do it in auto mode, they don't lift any of the tires off the ground. If they do, then you'd want to recalibrate the jacks so that they don't lift them off. And in that position, you would want to retract them and put them down in manual mode. As well, some people have a tendency to want to put pads underneath the jacks. We'd only recommend that if it's a muddy situation. You wouldn't want to put a piece of wood underneath the jack foot pads and then put it on an asphalt driveway. That will just cause the jacks to go higher and want to actually push through the wood, and to do that it would need to push through the foot pad. So I wouldn't recommend putting any foot pads down unless you're in a muddy area. Well, since we have the engine running, jacks down, parking brake on, we'll put the slides out. So the first one is the living room slide, so I'm going to hold out until we see the trim meet the wall, In this case too, you can watch the mirror to see it go out. Okay, it does stop on its own, then you let go. And we want to extend. That slide is out, and then you just simply push this mattress backwards. Just going to do that with one hand, and then the bed is made. Continuing with the control panel over the entry door, you have your level indicator panels here. Propane, battery, fresh is empty, black and gray are all empty. The generator, so to start it up, you hold down on the prime side until the red light comes on at gen, and then you hold it down on start until you hear the generator all the way on, or let go if it's been past 10 seconds. You have your water heater switches here, electric or propane. You can use both if you have both power sources available. The next switch is the water pump, so that's to bring the water up from the freshwater tank. You do need to have the 12-volt battery connect on, and you cannot use that while in drive because the vibrations are bad while the vehicle's in motion. The next switch is the Arctic pack, so that is the 12-volt heaters on the holding tanks. They are automatic, so you can turn the switch on around 10 degrees Celsius. It will turn on as it needs to and turn off once it has warmed up. Typically, the furnace will keep the tanks warm enough, so you might not see the Arctic pack come on for a while. The living room and kitchen lights are the two black light switches beside. The slide out is what we just used for the living room, and the driver's side rear light is the light that's over the dump station outside. The stereo is right beside it. So it does have living room speakers inside and speakers outside. So you basically just hold the arrow button until you get a channel. Continuing with the cabinet up above, this is an extra space for TV components. So there is a space for, there's an HDMI there to add a Blu-ray or a DVD player, a coax inlet if you want to add a PVR for a satellite dish, and then there's a couple outlets in the back corner so that it can have power. Off to the side where this orange coax is, this is the coax cable for TV channels, and it does have a little green button. I can't really get my camera in there to show you. There's a tiny little button right underneath. That is the power supply for the TV channels. That has to be on to be able to get channels. If it's off, it won't get any channels, and if you're not using the TV at all, you might as well just leave it off so it doesn't waste any of your battery power. And you'll need to scan for channels every time you go to a new location on both TVs. So I do have this written out for you. But you will need to go to menu, to channel, okay, and auto scan. And to do this every single time you go to a new location so that it can pick up the stations. And behind the TV, it does have a swivel mount. So you just need to make sure that it gets locked in before you start driving, and just to be gentle with it as well so that none of the cables are pulled out as you move the TV. So you do have some things stored underneath here right now. So that's your sewer hose. So it's a 20-foot sewer hose with some accessories, the 30 amp power cable, and the 15 amp adapter. So then in the dinette drawer, I'll go through all of these features with you in a moment. There is a netting here to hold TV remotes or to hold your phone while it's charging up in the top there. This is a light switch for the LED light strip. Okay, the blinds, they're all the MCD roller shades. So just pull them down and hold it down for a stop. They do have a little bit of Velcro for the sound, basically, so that they're not noisy. You just pull it down and let it go up. There's a wireless charging station for a phone, if your phone is capable to do wireless charging. You have your garbage down here, and the door for it is on the side. For the stove top, you need to put the glass cover back before turning on the burners. Okay, so turn it on high. There we go. And adjust the temperature. Third one. So just turn it on high and then turn the sparkler knob. This button here is just those lights. Down below is the convection microwave combo. So if you want to use convection, you would select that, and then you'd select your temperature that you want to set it to. So number 7 or 8 would be 350. For the fridge, it does have the stick for driving mode, so make sure that that's flipped over so that it doesn't open up when you make a turn. So then inside of the fridge does have temperature settings there. And then there's a temperature setting for the freezer in the back as well. So whenever the battery's on, the fridge will be on, and we will remove this plastic protection. At the side of the bed, there's 2 USB ports for charging. One 10-volt, just a regular drawer, and this is a breaker panel. This is an access to the slide controllers if you ever needed to get into there. There's the closet. Thermostat. So we need to have the generator on to run the AC, so I can do that in a moment. So basically you'd use the purple power button, put it on mode, cycle through to get to cool, and then the fan speed, leave it at auto, and you can adjust the temperature and it'll show the number there. It does have sleep and timer functions that are basically the same thing. You can set the timer for nighttime. And when you're trying to get heat, you'll want to use mode and heat, not the furnace button. That's for a different model. It's got a couple light switches here. This was the slide out button, and then the other TV. You press down this unlock button to move the sliding door. There is a plumbing access below the shower door. That's what that is down there. And this is the GFI for all of the outlets in the motorhome. So if this one gets wet somehow or the other ones get wet, this is the one you'll need to press to reset. And the toilet's in the back corner. There is a power fan in the bathroom. This one doesn't have the rain cover like the one in the front, which we'll head over to now. So this one up here, so you're going to pull it down, twist to open, and then press on the numbers, and this will suck the air, the hot air out of the motorhome. You do have the shade, the skylight with the shade there. Alright, so that has different settings, so it can go pretty quick. Alright, so you're going to turn on the generator. I'm going to hold it down until we see that red light. There it is. Okay. And then we'll wait until we hear the microwave beep to let us know that the power has transferred. So one of the things about the AC is that they have a little trim ring on them. So you can swivel them like this, just very lightly, don't press in too hard or they won't move. And then there is a little arrow on each vent. So that piece there, so this is the one that you'll want to use to press it in and out, and I can direct it from there. From the AC itself, it does have a blast cool mode, so you can have that open for all the cold air to come straight down. Otherwise, close it and it'll go through the vents. To use the thermostat, so you got the purple power button here. So the mode is cool, put it on auto, and so it'll adjust the fan speeds as necessary to reach the 60 setting that we have set there.